Hey guys, it's Nina. I'm sorry I could not be there today. I had a job interview this morning. Technically, yeah, because it'd be tomorrow. I'm recording it on Sunday, obviously. But I'm in Chicago right now. I have a job interview. I'm trying to move back out here. So that's why I couldn't make it. I obviously could never be a blogger because I keep looking in that little camera hole trying to give you guys eye contact. And it just, I don't know, looks a little weird. But anyway, my author is Samantha Young. And I did her book, The Impossible Vastness of Us, which we'll get into later. But funny story, I could not find any information on her, so I ended up emailing the author, and she got back to me like within 24 hours, which was great. So all the information you're about to hear is directly from the author herself. Enjoy. So Samantha Young's childhood was absolutely filled with books. When she was 4 years old, her mom gave her a gigantic stack of books, and from that day forth, she was reading all the time. And they'd go on frequent trips to the library. She would call her Mum because she's from Scotland. So Samantha Young grew up in a small town in Edinburgh, I'm not really sure how to say it, in Glasgow, and family was very, very important to her. She ended up going to University of Edinburgh, I'm not sure how to say it, with a degree in humanities focusing in medieval and ancient history. We'll get to this a little bit later, but she had a little difficult time finding a job. I wonder why. Anyway, family was very important to her, and a lot of her fantasy novels actually are rooted in the information she learned from that medieval history and ancient history degree. So, like I said before, she had a really hard time finding a job after college, so she kind of dove into writing. As a child, she was always writing. As a high schooler, she was always writing. So she ended up being successful self-publishing some books. And then eventually Penguin Publishing Company in New York started publishing some of her adult romance novels, and Harlequin started publishing her contemporary young adult books. And then I have a quote from her, a direct quote. She said that the upside of being unemployed was that it allowed me the time and gave me the courage to make the decision to pursue full-time writing. So thank goodness she got that degree. Otherwise, she would not be the writer she is today. Samantha Young's family and friends were not surprised at all when she decided to become an author because it had always been a passion of hers. She was always writing since she was a young girl and in high school. So in her spare time, Samantha Young enjoys reading, obviously buying books, shoe shopping. She likes Pilates, crafts, traveling, quizzes, spa trips, and she's on the hunt for the world's best burger. Aren't we all? She also mentioned that she loves her dogs and loves walking them, and her friends go on little adventures to find where they're going to walk their dogs next. So, The Impossible Vastness of Us. It's a novel about a girl, India Maxwell, who was living in California with her mom, who's a flight attendant, and her whole entire life gets uprooted and she has to move to Boston because her mom's going to marry this dude who's wicked rich. My grandparents actually live in Boston, so it was kind of enjoyable to read this book because the area that they live in, my papa makes fun of all the time. I think like Roxbury. And he always goes, Roxbury. Because they're just, super fancy. The kids in this book get like really nice cars, like cars that I would probably never have in my entire life for Christmas. And they wear all designer clothes, and they have drivers, and they have butlers. And where she was coming from before, India, it was absolutely nothing like that. So she completely has to uproot her life and move to Boston. And in her current location, not to give too much away, but like she feels most safe and secure when she's at the top of the social ladder. She's included in tons of extracurricular activities. She keeps herself very, very busy. So this book is pretty great. You guys should all read it. I don't want to give too much away. But there's strife, there's teen angst, there's forbidden love, there's secrets, there's buried pasts. And I think it'd be great for like a great summer read. The end, I like how it ends because it kind of gives you like a sense of hope. And I really enjoyed it, and you guys should all read it. Now, on to the last part of my presentation is my non-traditional handout. So here we have a Tupperware container because food is really important to India, which I can't tell you why, but super important to her. She hates wasted food. There's actually like a night when she's at her new house with like a butler in her new fancy house, and they're about to throw all the food away that everybody didn't eat, and she just starts tripping out. So I thought a little takeout container would be appropriate. And if you open the takeout container, inside we have some things, and she compartmentalizes a lot of her emotions and some of the stuff she went through in her past. So here on the tiny part that's like squished away, we have broken trust and some daddy issues. So she's got a little daddy issues. And then over here is everything she filled, like in the major portions of her life to make her feel safe and secure, like working on the school newspaper, being popular, extracurricular activities, and dating handsome boys. And that is my presentation. Thank you for listening.